Right, Will, nearly exactly a month to go before the Rugby World Cup starts.
It is a month to go.
It is, isn't
it? It's the 18th.
Yes. I try to work out the number of days early.
Nearly, almost exactly a month to go. No, we are a month to go.
Well, it depends if you do days or calendar months, but yeah. Anyway. Right, so we're going to concentrate on selection. It's obviously the hot topic at the moment with the final cull of the squad coming up.
Yes.
England have played their first warm-up game, and we've taken some questions from Twitter, which we're going to base it around. So the first question I'm going to use, unsurprisingly, is the whole centres dilemma.
Yes.
Comes from @NLGreen2. Do you think Luther Burrell's Rugby World Cup place is in serious doubt?
Luther's under pressure. I think the one that's really suffered is probably Billy Twelvetrees, who for 2 years, by and large, has been in and around Lancaster's squad, a starter for many games, came off the bench in Cardiff on that Friday night victory, part of the Six Nations. Got 30 minutes off the bench at the weekend and didn't touch the ball once. So I think the Burgess-Slade charge may already have put paid to one experienced pros World Cup chances. We never thought it would put paid to Luther's chances. We've got to assume that Barrett, Joseph go, 1 and 2, nailed on, written in stone, starting centres for the Fiji game, Barrett and Joseph. So you're then looking at 2 more. Thought process said Burrell's one of them and it's one of Slade or Burgess. I've always felt they got rid of Daly too early. If they love Joseph and the width he gives, why are you getting rid of a like for like? You need to shift in your style now with no Daly if Joseph gets injured. So, Barrett, Joseph, definitely. Was Burrell, now it's 2 from 3. It's now not 1 from 2. The odds have shortened for Burgess and Slade, and Burrell's been dragged into it. Big game, I still think he goes. Average game, he's going to take the 2 lads with 1 cap.
So if we go, Luther has a big game on Saturday. Does that mean who misses out, Slade or Burgess? Burgess would seem a more like-for-like player, but Luther has played at 13 in previous Six Nations campaigns. So if Luther has a big game, who goes?
So we're getting into the realms of... It's a really interesting question. The fascinating thing is, if you ask me about props, I go, he's got to go, because I know a fraction less about props. Second rows, I'm taking so-and-so over so-and-so, because I know a fraction less about second rows. You put me into my specialised subject, if that's what you can call it, because that's where I played 12 and 13 for England. And there's just so much going on, and it's why it's the hardest selection of all for a coach to narrow it down to this 31 with 4 centres. If Luther doesn't play well, he takes Burgess and Slade. If Luther does play well, he still could take Burgess and Slade. It really is. So you got to look at what a bloke offers the side. Does Luther have a kicking game? No. Disadvantage. Because it means you're then Slade 1 up on him. Does Luther have a passing game? He can, but he's thrown too many intercepts for Northampton when people have told him, try and be a passing centre. So stop trying to be a passing centre. Again, Slade 1 up on him. So then he gets into the realms of the Burgess category. What does he offer that Burgess doesn't? Experience, been a centre for a long time, been part of the English backline for 2 years, most amount of tries since 2003 in this Six Nations by an England backline. Who's in the heart of it? Luther played well, strong, ran hard, got his knees up, went at it. So he's over Burgess there. Credit Burrell category. Then you start to look at impact. Dumoulin, Szarzyewski, smashed, destroyed, hit hard. You can't look into it too deeply because at times that French team, they were almost less experienced in the backline than we were. Tranduca's had a broken leg and hasn't played in ages. Dumoulin and Lamarat have never played together before. Doulin's not really a left winger. He went off. Fiku came off on the wing. So you start to understand that this isn't a simple beauty pageant. He looks better than him. There's so many things go into it. I genuinely think, in terms of the impact it has on the England squad, Burrell or Burgess, it's a toss of a coin. Who will he take? Who would I take? I love, but then I'm getting into emotion, right? Because I love everything Sam Burgess has done. I love fractured cheekbone, Rabbitohs, grand final. I love everything he's about. But that's unfair on Luther because I don't know him. So I'm now making an emotional selection. What's emotion got to do with it? Ask Warren Gatland. He dropped Brian O'Driscoll. Ask Warren Gatland. He just got rid of Mike Phillips, Richard Hibbard, James Hook. Emotion doesn't come into sport. So I've suddenly got this emotional attachment to a guy I want to do well, who represents values that so.
But just on Sam Burgess, that emotional thing that you're talking about, grand final, broken cheekbone, that's an emotional thing. But it also is an example that Sam Burgess, on the big stage, at the big moment, doesn't go missing. He's a leader of men.
Luther wouldn't have gone missing against France on the weekend behind that pack.
But that has to come into play.
Yeah.
That they see that in Sam, his progress in rugby union has been much quicker than some people thought.
Yeah.
And he will rise to the occasion of the World Cup. Do you think that's...
And rugby union is becoming more rugby league in the backs. There's far less space out there. There's a much greater requirement in that midfield area. You look at the bloke who'll play inside centre for the South Africans at De Villiers, not there, is Deolande. You look at Nonu. Probably Tamua. They might go with Giteau, but Tamua, Australia. Tough. Roberts, 12. Henshaw, Ireland. You get what I'm saying? Burgess can do that. Has Luther done enough historically to put this question to bed? No, because we were still having it whether Sam Burgess is here or not. So that's why he's under a great deal of pressure to perform in Paris on Saturday night. If you're saying where the bookmaker is right now, love of all things league, Andy Farrell on the coaching staff, Slade's written himself in because of the width he offers the game. I think Luther's hanging on by a thread.